different to my life in Pakistan. I mean, in Pakistan, what appeals to me and the way I live are the sort of things that do not exist in England. For instance, in Pakistan, what I love most is the wilderness. And what stands out is a different way of life. I mean, I love the stimulation of complete city life as exists in London. Also, I mean, I hardly get recognized. I can walk in the street. Very few people know who I am. In Pakistan, in the cities, it becomes difficult. And being a very private person, I find that sometimes very hard to handle.
Great innings by Ian Botham. OBW, and will that be a wicket for Richard Hadley with his last ball in Test cricket? Gomes and Richards have to bowl out 12 overs between them. Having said that, he's just given away 4 runs.
3 now, England. And he's bowling. Botham's gone. Beaten there with a fine delivery. A little bit of extra pace too. Seems to have been, in fact, beaten by the pace.
The world has been lucky in recent years to have some very special characters around. I suppose if it came down to picking one, and they were both at their, they were all at their best. I mean, if you had Dev at his best, and you had Richard Hadley at his best, you had Imran at his best, and you had Botham at his best, it would get down, for me, to be a question of whether we had Botham or Imran. So that's how highly I regard him. At his best, he might just nudge the rest out.
Ball of 4 runs.
Michael holding. और इमरान ने इस दफा फिर बहुत खूबसूरत शॉट लगाया है और ये 6.
Remember now, taking over at the Brazilian end. Well, that's a big one, is that?
That's not what he's been doing earlier. That's a massive 6 for Imran Khan.
I think that Richard Hadley's probably a slightly better bowler. Ian Botham has a better record as a batsman and making centuries. But I think if it got really hard as a bowler, I think that Imran is the man that I would like out there, because he would still be trying to bounce the batsman out even if the wicket's really flat. A lot like Dennis Riley. Richard Hadley, I feel, he gets a bit mechanical at times. He sort of says, oh, well, this wicket's pretty flat. I'm not going to try any bounces, so I'm just going to try line and length. Imran has that spirit, as I say, much like Dennis Riley, where he'd be saying, well, to hell with that, I'm going to try and knock this bloke's block off, or I'm going to try and get him ducking and diving. I'm going to try and make something happen. And as a batsman, as I mentioned, I think he's the sort of fellow that if the team is really in trouble, as they were in Adelaide. He came up with a century.
Pakistan, unbelievably, 3 for 7.
Imran Khan, the skipper, has decided that he's the one to come out and sort all this out.
Drives that down the ground. That's knocked away by Keble. Going to the single. That's a 100 for Imran. Well played. A superb captain's knock.
My winter 2 months, all the Sundays, because Sunday was a holiday, were spent chasing kites. And really, I can't tell you how obsessed I was. And my nephews now are obsessed with the same sport. And even now I enjoy whenever, you know, the Basant festival comes. I love going over there in the old city and the flying kites. My taste in music has changed over the years. I mean, it never was either pop music or Indian. There was always everything included in it. But at the moment, my great passion is Mr. Fateh Ali Khan. The 3 books I've written so far, 2 on cricket, which I found very easy to write because cricket is my subject. I write articles in newspapers. I don't find it at all hard writing on cricket. But the 3rd book was on a trip I did, which is basically a book on Pakistan. And the reason I did it was not because of any other reason, but simply because there are no books on Pakistan. I mean, there are friends who used to want to come to Pakistan always complained there wasn't hardly ever anything to read of the country. But currently, I'm doing a book on the tribal area in Pakistan, and that's the reason for the book was because I just happened to go there to Waziristan, where originally my mother's family comes from. And I just went there to have a look, and I was so fascinated by what I saw that I decided that I must write on it. And I've been working on that book, which should come out soon.